Hey there, and welcome inside the Flames Central podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage Studios.
Yes. Bam!
St. Patrick's Day is never over.
It's every
when
day.
you're
You know,
Joe
every
Young.
day. You hear people say, "What's the song? If only every day could be just like Christmas or something like that."
Yeah.
If in Joe's world, it's if only every day could be just like St. Patrick's, and it is. It basically
the lean,
lean. Don't see
the
you
mean
don't have to take
green.
that. Wait till we tell her about your mile training.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
It's
to say.
coming later
It's
in the
the
show.
lean green mortgage machine.
Of the people,
Baby.
by the people, for the
people.
Yeah.
We have a lot to discuss
and with
on
the people.
With them as
With
well.
them, yeah.
Yes,
With
right.
them.
I always forget that one. Yeah.
We have a lot to discuss on today's show. We'll talk a little men's basketball and the NIT. We have Demario
Yes.
Douglas on the
Nice.
show.
Wow.
He's prepping for his pro day tomorrow as the NFL draft gets closer and closer. So that's a great conversation.
We got all his
don't-
route running skills.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Joe
Yeah.
Young. Just in,
I
if
think
there's
you
any,
opened up like a whole new world to him.
Yeah.
I
I
could
know.
see as you were breaking it down,
Yeah.
he's kind of like, man, why has no one shared
somebody
this with me
shared
my
this
whole
with me?
career?
Thank
It's a
I
game
know.
changer.
It's just amazing that we have people like Joe Yock around
I could
campus,
coach.
too.
I could coach wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs right now. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
This
It helps
is
when Patrick
becoming a
Mahomes is
problem.
the one throwing the ball. Yeah. Right.
This is becoming
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is becoming a problem. Like, your confidence is just becoming annoying. We also, you guys listen.
Well, if we want to talk about annoying,
Let's get on to, yeah.
Yes, come
Yeah,
on,
let's
guys.
get
We
on.
are already off the tracks. We have, you guys listen, we have mailbag questions. So you don't want to miss that later in the show. And then we'll talk a little bit about the diamond, not this diamond.
oh, big day
But
coming up.
big
from
day
Miss
coming up,
Special.
But
Miss Special's got her day.
baseball and some of their issues that they need to work through. And but let's start with the Flames.
Yeah.
It's official. Unfortunately, Darius is done.
The season is over.
The season
It's a shame.
is over. But went down with a fight on
it's
the
awesome.
road
Yeah.
at Wisconsin. There's so much to take away from this game. I want to start with Shiloh Robinson, you know, just taking one for the team.
He got rocked. Yeah.
Who was it? Krause. Should he have been ejected after that?
It was close.
Shove in the face.
We were talking about it. It was definitely close. I think if he had caught Shiloh right across the face, he would have been ejected.
Yeah.
It's one of those where, like, if there's blood on the play, it looks that much worse and you're gone. It was very close. And it was, I mean
that would have changed the momentum. It kind of did change the momentum.
And he didn't do nearly as much in the second half. He was unstoppable
Well, he's
in
in
the first
foul
half.
trouble.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the NIT, and you know, not everybody looks at it the same way, and there's some teams, you know, well, that opted out and that sort of thing for different reasons. But like, when you look at what this brought for Liberty, that game against Villanova, which we haven't talked about yet. I know we were, well,
Oh,
two of
that's
us, we
right,
were
we
at,
talked about
and it
that.
was awesome. What an environment, what a
Oh,
win.
It's great.
And then you go on the road and go toe-to-toe with Wisconsin. Like, I feel like you can grow so much through this.
Oh, yeah.
You can test yourself. For those young guys coming back, they have this experience. And one thing I think I learned about this Liberty team, you think you know everything about them by this point, right? You're 30 whatever games in. Like, I didn't know they were this tough.
No,
I
I
didn't.
didn't either. This physical.
Like
Yeah.
not questioning their toughness, but like
Yeah.
the physicality in that Villanova game
Yeah.
and then the physicality in the Wisconsin game is different than what Liberty sees from opponents on a night-to-night basis. And they went toe-to-toe, and they didn't back down. And to see that level of toughness out of them was really encouraging. And it was kind of a different, I don't know, a different look at this team that we hadn't seen before, because they don't typically go up against teams like this, you know, on a night-to-night basis.
That dude from Villanova,
Yeah.
the one dude, he looked like he had a lower trunk that was from a California redwood forest.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude, I was like, whoa, he had
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
And they were grinding and battling with him all night long.
Yeah.
That was a great game.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
a great
That
game.
was fun to be
Yeah.
at.
I don't think you can. I
I
understand
remember
what you're
texting
doing.
Emily when it was over, and she was like, "Oh, sorry, I went to bed at halftime," and I was like, "What? What?"
No, I did not.
you
No, I
didn't.
did not. Do not listen to them. But also, I just think that the experience, the toughness that you saw from this, and just the confidence from this younger team, because from the younger players, Colin Porter, Zach Cleveland.
Zach Cleveland's an animal.
What did I text you
He is
during the
a
game?
mon-
He is
he's
an
a
animal.
beast.
Tell me. What did I text you during the game?
Joe
remember?
said he made his Yacht Talk
First
team.
team
First team
all
all Yacht Talk.
Yeah.
He is
Zach
Really?
Cleveland.
the kid is fearless.
Say-
He is.
He is absolutely
Love
fearless.
that kid.
I don't know if maybe
Hey,
it was
yo,
the haircut.
Chiba.
I don't know. I don't know
The
if that brought
haircut,
something
cleaned up the
out.
sides.
But like, man, he was awesome against Villanova.
You could see his
And then-
confidence.
Oh yeah, like he had
Like,
the shot
yeah.
late in that game, like
Yes.
final minute, and he
Yes.
like no hesitation,
No
takes
hesitation.
it and scores. Like,
First team all Yacht
cool.
Talk.
First team all y'all talk. Darius McGee, you
Yeah.
know, it was good to see him go
Yes,
out. He was
got
three.
to the rack.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was 4 of 15 from three, but like just the way he was getting to the rim was just
31
good to
points.
see.
31.
Yeah, he had 31.
that,
You know,
that-
just when you look at what Liberty couldn't stop was like, you know,
Yeah, but
Wisconsin in the
that
paint.
was intentional.
that
It
was part of
tough.
the
Yeah.
process.
They
Part
made
of the
one
plan.
three.
They
made
were
one
1 of
three.
15 from three. So yeah, basically, and they asked Richie McKay about it after the game, and he's like, I mean, I guess I don't think I would probably change anything about our
Yeah.
plan. They're like, sorry Shiloh, sorry Blake, Zach, whatever. Like, you're just gonna have to man up down there in the post and hope we can stop them enough. But we're not helping down and leaving open threes. And
Right.
so, you know, Wisconsin goes 1 of 15 from three. That one coming in the final couple of minutes. Like, the game plan, I think, was sound. And man, you think back to the one play that I think all Liberty fans will remember, and that's the three from Kyle Road. You got the look you wanted, and that's basketball, right?
Right.
You got the look you wanted. It rattles in and out like
Yes.
it's halfway down. You had a tip opportunity. Like, you would do it all over again
No
the
doubt.
exact same way.
You know
But-
what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You know what I was to say is that what I really liked about that was it was after a timeout.
Yeah.
Okay. Richie clearly drew that play up.
Mhm.
Colin, a freshman, goes and drives baseline, gets them there, gets them spread out,
Yep.
gets Kyle the look that exactly what they wanted to get. And Kyle shot that ball with no hesitation, 100% confidence. Follow through was perfect. And it was just one of those, like what you said. It just happened to rattle in and rattle out. But I mean, you can't be more proud of it. Nobody backed down from the situation. The moment was never too big, and they were fully confident
Because-
trying to make the plays
and-
down the stretch. It just didn't.
And how many times as a coach you draw something up? We see this time after time around the country watching games. Oh, late game situation.
I did.
Draw something up, and then they go, and you're like,
What was that?
is that what he drew up, or
Yeah.
did they just not execute at
Right.
all?
Yeah.
No.
They executed it to perfection. They got the look they wanted.
When you look at some of these games down the stretch that mattered for Liberty, Kyle Road has grown into a completely different
Yeah, he's
player.
a
I mean,
boss.
he is clutch. He has hit some big shots for the Flames. I know he has a choice to come back next season.
Come on, Kyle.
Come on, Kyle. Let's go,
This isn't
Kyle.
tough.
Yeah.
You gotta come back.
We'll
I
give you a
just-
mug.
Get
yeah,
you a
we'll
mug.
give you
We'll
another.
get you a
We'll
mug.
give
You'll
your
be in the
wife a
circle of
mug.
trust.
We'll
We'll
give
put you in the
your
circle
dog
of
a
trust.
mug.
Just come on.
Yeah.
I know. Put him on Yacht Talk's first team. I'm
I'll
just
put him on
saying.
first team.
right now.
I'm telling you right now, just it has been so cool to see because you know with Darius going, leaving this year, it's just we need you, Kyle. We need you
This
to
is a
return.
public,
Blake
Um,
Preston's one of those.
So
too,
yeah,
isn't
so it'll be interesting to see what that looks like here in the next. And I don't know if it'll take a week or two to kind of find out who
Right.
of those guys, the Shiloh, Kyle,
Wait,
Blake, come back.
Shiloh?
Yeah,
Shiloh
So,
can come back.
we'll see what that looks like.
Let's just say like what's a need for Liberty moving forward, whether you
Yeah.
find it in recruiting or the portal.
No, I think they're going to go
Where
in the
do they
portal.
turn?
I think they're going to go in the portal. I think Richie's going to go into the portal heading into Conference USA. I think priority number one, especially if you get let's say you just get two of those three guys back in any combination,
Mhm.
right? You've got to find another ball handler because with Darius leaving, it's Colin Porter and that's it.
Yeah.
So I think they'll try to find another transfer ball handler. I think that's priority number one. You've got a wing coming in the recruiting class. You've got a big coming in, but maybe you find another like kind of combo
Post
guard
player,
type.
Yeah,
Yeah, but the
Um,
big isn't really a true big.
No, he is. He's 7-footer.
I know he's 7-footer, but isn't he more of a perimeter?
He
like,
can shoot, but no, he's a big body. Like he's
Okay.
not some skinny kid.
Yeah.
I don't know. Now he may be a little bit of a project, but that's why you hope if you get
Yeah,
some
somebody in the
version of
transfer
those guys
portal.
coming
Right.
back, you can kind of work him. And don't forget too, like Zach Cleveland, one of the big things in this season factors was him being sick and out for 6 games.
That
'Cause
is
not only did he miss
huge.
6 games, then they had to kind of work him back into shape for another 3 or 4.
Oh,
So let's call it like 8 to 10 games where you didn't have the version that we saw at the end of the year.
Mhm.
So like that guy, now you're getting him back after a full off season. Like that's, I mean, talk
Plus,
about
you
another
think
weapon.
that they're going to put some size on him, right? Because he is
Sure.
only a freshman, but he's going to develop and
He's good.
yeah, he's so good. I'm
Yeah.
excited to see.
It is exciting, and it's exciting to see where they're going to go in the portal. Because it's
Right.
going to happen. It's
Yeah.
going to happen, I think, in this offseason. So it'll be cool to see, like, what additions, and we'll know pretty quick, I think, like who Richie McKay wants, what positions are important to him heading into next.
I'm calling dibs on wherever Darius McGee goes to play. I get to, even if it's
don't worry.
overseas.
Right.
Yeah, it'll
Even
be
if
in
it's
Greece
overseas
something
or
like that. You'll be there.
whatever
Yeah,
training
right.
camp.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, like, I assume he'll get into, like, Vegas Summer League.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
assume
Well,
he'll
you can
get
go to
into
Vegas.
that.
I don't
So,
want
like,
anything to do with that.
that'll be fun to watch and see
Have
what
you seen
what
him at
happens
those pool
next.
parties that she's
Yeah.
What
is she saying?
out of control.
Wow.
No, it'll be fun to see, like, and follow Darius and what his
Absolutely.
next steps are.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're so bummed that, like, that chapter is over
Yeah.
for Liberty basketball, but it is exciting to see, what's next, especially if they go into the portal and what
yeah, I
happens
mean, it
there.
is. And again, Darius is an absolute blast. But I think looking forward, it's going to be exciting because it's not going to be the same. Like we talked
Mhm.
about, I think before, people are like, oh, what are they going to do next year? No Darius. Like,
It'll
well, they're
be
not
fine.
going to run the same offense.
Right.
They're not going to just go, okay, Brody, you're going to now jack 30 shots a game. You're not going to do it the same way. You're going to utilize these pieces in a different way
Right.
to really accentuate what they do well. And so that will be exciting. We know Richie McKay and that staff, like, they're incredible. They'll get this. They'll figure it out. You lose one of your all-time greats, they'll be fine.
Okay, so, and I don't know the answer to this. You guys tell me.
Okay.
Wait,
Conference
Joe
US.
doesn't know the answer to something?
Okay.
Oh
I'm
my
an,
gosh.
I'm an open book. I'm an open book, and I'm always willing to learn.
Yeah.
Right?
He's
So you
a
gotta be a
lifelong learner.
Listen, do we need to have an intervention right now? Because we can talk about this.
Yeah.
You have to be an open book, Emily, and you have in your marriage that's coming here soon. You have to be willing to learn
Yeah.
and to accept things that you're unwilling to accept right
Yeah.
now. Back to my question.
Mhm.
Conference USA compared to the current conference.
Yes.
Okay, where does that line up overall?
Well, it's hard to say because the good teams in the conference are all leaving.
Are leaving and
Yeah.
So, but I do think and we got a taste of it in the NIT. While their numbers may not look like, oh boy, these teams are so much more dominant or whatever, I think there's going to be more of a physicality. There's going to be some bigger bodies. I think that's where we'll see a jump in maybe the level of athlete, the level of physicality, which is why I think these last two games were really important for the Flames and valuable for them moving forward, because you're probably going to see a lot more of that, I would think, in CUSA.
And CUSA two-bid league or just one?
I don't know. With all those
What
teams.
did you ask? Is it what?
Is it a two-bid? Like, if they don't win there?
As it stands now with the teams that left, I would say probably a
Put it up.
one bid, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's that. I'm not an expert in that sort of thing, I guess. But like,
That'll be
the teams that are still there aren't as strong as.
Who are
the
you
ones that
picking to
left.
win the national championship this year, Matthew?
Oh yeah, how is everyone's brackets
oh, it's
doing?
awful.
I have Houston.
Really?
Well, here's the
Oh.
thing. Here's the thinking there. Everybody and their brother picked Alabama, right? And
Yeah.
I
it's-
didn't.
The Final Four is in
Did you?
Houston.
No.
Final
not to
Four
win
is
it.
in Houston. So if they can get there, they're gonna have it's gonna be like
A showing. That's
home
true.
court advantage.
I
so.
didn't do that much research and where
Who'd
the
you
Final
pick?
Four. Gonzaga.
Okay. I have
Yeah.
them in the Final Four. Who'd you
I
got?
have it like this is their year. I just feel like
I
feel it.
took Princeton to get to the Sweet 16.
yeah.
I
You've
took-
always been a big Tiger. Yeah.
Big Tiger fan.
Yeah,
I
right.
took Farley Deggerson to make an upset in the first
Right,
round.
yeah,
Right.
mhm.
And then I took Florida Atlantic in the
Sweet 16.
In the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Owls. That's
And
him.
the
That's
Owls,
Im's school.
yeah, that is his
she's
school.
fired up. Look at that. She's making an Owl fan.
And
The Owls. I
Yeah,
didn't even know
I
we had
had
a basketball
them,
team.
and
No, I'm
then
kidding. I'm kidding.
I took, you know who I did, if I'm being honest here.
Yeah.
You know who I did take to win it all?
Who?
Kansas.
Did you really?
I did.
Well, it serves you
Ooh,
right.
well, your
Yeah.
season's over
No,
early.
you deserve it.
Another season that's getting started up is
Serves you right.
spring football. We'll talk a little bit of spring football after this interview because it's also pro day
Right.
for Liberty on Tuesday, and we had Demario Douglas in studio to talk about it. You may know him from his Excel play on the football field. You may know him from the pie eating contests.
Well,
or
that's right.
you may know him as a gingerbread house champion
Right.
from this past season. I mean,
His
he just-
resume is diverse. to say the
It
least.
really,
Yeah.
it really is. Demario Douglas, ladies and gentlemen, is in the house. We're so excited to have you on the show. Thanks for making time.
Thank you for having me.
Did you win the pie eating contest or what did you?
Oh no, I lost the pie eating contest.
You leave that for the big fellas.
Yeah, that-
yeah,
that was for the-
That's
yeah.
a big man's game.
Wait, that was
That's
2
for the
seasons
protection
ago.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That's
2
for,
seasons
that's for the
ago.
protection people. They're the ones who protect you.
Mm.
Right.
They're the
Yeah.
ones that eat the pie.
But I don't know. It looks looks like you're putting on some weight, some muscle. You might, have to.
I think now though, now y'all giving me a chance. I think I'll win now.
Yeah.
Right.
After pro day.
Right, not before pro day. I wouldn't recommend that, like morning of pro day.
Right.
Yeah.
Demario, I watched the gingerbread house thing. It was awful. I mean, to even have a winner of that thing.
Right.
Right.
It was like you guys, everybody's was awful.
I think it was an emotional victory.
Yeah.
Because you guys just lost a coaching staff.
There's
There's a lot of
going on. A lot of pressure, too. There's a lot of pressure.
It was the only house that was still standing and complete.
Listen.
But remember CJ Yarbrough, the icing, let's just not even go in. Yeah, it was not good.
Yeah, I remember.
Let's shift our
Let's talk
focus.
football.
Away from food to football. Tell us what the last few weeks, months have been like, preparing for this NFL draft coming up.
It's been a grind. It's a blessing to be in this position, one. But I've been training in Fort Lauderdale XPE with a lot of known receivers, and we just been pushing each other. It's just like we created a brotherhood in the first day. It was crazy. So when somebody do something, the other one's like, oh, I'm gonna beat it, So it's like we pushed each other, and then we seen gains while doing it.
You talk about that, like, was there something that you went into that process going, okay, I need to get better in this area? Or I've heard from teams they need to see this at the combine or pro day. What was your focus?
Right. Going in, I know get a little bit bigger, get bigger, and then teams didn't think I would run fast,
Really? They thought you were more quick than fast? That kind of guy?
They thought I was more quick than fast, and then, when I ran the 4.4, it's like, okay, he can run.
Yeah.
Fast.
He's fast. So, I was really, focused on that 40.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I know some of the stuff I see is you see these notes from national guys or whatever that I'm sure did not watch any of your games until just a couple hours before that. And they're like, oh, maybe can't make, contested catches, like almost like you said, more quick than fast. And then you go, so you ran the 4.40, you had a vertical 39.5 inches, ninth best among all receivers. And you had a broad jump, 11'2", second best among all receivers at the combine. So you're kind of like, anybody that thought the big time athlete wasn't there, I think you kind of answered those questions.
Nah, facts. No. Nah, I just,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
He's like, yep, you're right. You can read those numbers again.
Demario, those numbers were close to mine back in the day, but I mean,
Inflation's
But
kind of...
really.
Yeah.
But Demario, I feel like you've had those doubts against you your entire career, right? Like, do you like playing with that chip on your shoulder and having that, edge of, hey, you better doubt me, but I'm going to prove you wrong?
Nah, most definitely. I'll say since high school, I was lightly recruited, but my number's always been there, because of my height and size. But, I love to show people, I love to prove people wrong and be like, oh, this guy can play, just because of my height and size, I can play with anybody. And I love to show it.
What would you say is the strength of your game? So as you go into an NFL team, and you Liberty here, and then now to an NFL team, what would you say, where you're going to stand out, right? Not the weakness side of things, hey, I need to work on X, Y, and Z, but no, what would you say is your strength, the best part of your game?
How I separate from, defenders, and how I create space, so my route running.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, that was something that actually Hugh Freeze talked about.
Right.
Remember that? We talked to him
once.
once.
One of the best, he said.
Yeah, towards the end of his time here, he said, one of the best he's ever coached at the end. And so, you're absolutely right. That's something. Now, you've talked with a lot of NFL teams. Now, you said even later today you have another interview. Sometimes you hear people come out with, oh, man, I got the weirdest question or strangest thing. What kind of questions have you gotten from teams? Have there been any that have made you go what? Why are you asking that?
I don't think so. See, I would have to think about that one. It'd be the same questions, just to get to know you better than what the coaches and everybody around you say, just to see how you think and stuff like that.
Is it more so hey, draw something up or tell us what you see here, or is it more so off the field kind of stuff they want to know?
It'd be more off the field, but as of on the field, you'll write a play down, and then they'll have a play for you. You gotta memorize it, and then they'll ask you questions, and then you gotta come back to that play and remember that play.
So you're in the classroom all over.
You're in the classroom all over again.
How's that been?
Nah, it's been good.
You feel like you've excelled at that part of it?
Nah, most definitely, yes, sir.
Nice.
What's your favorite route to run?
Sail route, the out route.
The out route, so a sail in or more of a comeback.
It's a out, so
Out, yeah,
10
deeper
yard,
out.
yeah,
Yeah.
out.
How's your post corner?
It's pretty good. I
it pretty
ran that
solid?
in the combine.
You ran the combine?
Mhm.
Okay, come here real quick, Demario.
Oh, God.
Come here, Matt. Come up here real quick.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Here
need-
we go.
Let's school him up.
Yeah.
School him
Okay.
up on how you're gonna. We're running the post.
Okay.
The end zone's over there. Okay,
Over
we're
there?
on the left. No, yeah, the end zone's back there.
Okay.
We're on the left side right now.
Okay.
Okay,
We
so
need
you
a
got,
cameraman.
We really
to-
are cameraman. Where did Doug go? He ran out. He took a
Completely left us.
Doug's on a smoke break
We
right
need-
now. Can we get our camera guy in here? Thanks.
Matt's
Right.
playing DB.
Yeah.
Matt's playing DB. He's got inside leverage on
Yeah.
you right there.
Mhm.
Okay, and so we're gonna go post to the corner. Show me what you got right
Well,
there.
right now he's on my outside leverage.
You
So,
gotta get his hips where?
I'm gonna turn his hips. Well, he's already on my
He thinks he's
outside,
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, he's on your outside. Yep, that's right.
so I'm gonna just burn. I'm just beat him.
You're just gonna be, okay, show me.
Okay.
No. It didn't work like that in the NFL, dog.
Not
I mean, you can be
every
his.
I don't look like
Yeah.
I do.
Okay, so
Right,
if
yeah.
he on my outside,
Yeah,
leverage,
give it to me. Show me what you're gonna do.
I'm gonna just attack him and
Right
Oh,
there.
there you go.
Okay.
and then run my
help.
post
Yeah.
and then back out
There you go.
Off the camera.
off the camera,
Off camera.
off the
That's how you
screen.
go.
Yeah.
Now look, check this out. Check this out. I used to do this, and I like this. Tell me you might like this. Use this.
Okay.
All right. So when you get that dude, okay, and you're trying to get his hips turned this way, and you stick him to the post right here, and you get his hips turned like this right here, right? As he's going 1, 2, you're really good at this. I've watched you. You're really good at this. When you stick this foot in the ground right here, bam, you're back to the corner. Ball game, right? But now check this out. Check this out. Against these NFL guys, right? They're going to be on that. They're knowing about the corner. So what you got to do, bam, stick him right here. 1, 2, and then he turns here. Step him straight back up again.
Right.
Step him straight. Now you get him like this.
Yeah.
Ball game. He doesn't know if you're going here. He don't know if you're going there. Bam, over to the corner.
Touchdown.
Touchdown.
Light it.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Light it up, baby.
Light him up.
All
Hey,
day long.
So follow this advice if you want a future wearing a green jacket on a Monday, hosting and sponsoring,
You know what?
powering the
fair.
Flame Central podcast. Like,
By the way, look at
Do
that.
what
Look
you're
at that
doing,
cam.
Demario.
Look at that cam right there, and say Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova Mortgage. Alcova. It's Flame Central Podcast.
Flame Central Podcast, powered by Alcova
Mortgage.
Mortgage.
That's good. You passed
Oh
that
my
test.
gosh.
Great job.
Yeah.
you and Matt were talking before we started taping. Who have you leaned on during this process of just so much unknown and just an exciting time of your life preparing for the NFL draft?
I talked to Malik. You know, he's new into the league, and he's was with me through college. So I have somebody that's in the league that I could talk to. I believe that's the first person that I've known that's actually in the league. But also like my mom and grandma.
Really?
I just talked to. I
Mom
talk
has
to
the
them
best
every day.
advice,
Nah,
obviously.
facts, and they won't lead you wrong. So I talk to them every day, text them every morning. So I make sure that we keep that communication.
What is some of the advice that Malik has told you? Because he went through such an interesting process with all the hype, getting drafted early, and then not like meeting his expectations of what everyone else thought. So what kind of advice does he share?
When you come in, like it's everybody big, everybody strong, everybody fast, everybody So you just got to come in there and work hard and don't take your foot off the brake.
What are you hearing in terms of like, hey, I could be taken in these rounds, or what kind of stuff are you hearing from your agent or whoever?
Well, my agent my agent been talking to me, but I say we will really know it till like after pro day, should we say? But it's looking pretty good. Definitely getting drafted.
Yeah. What does your pro day look like? Because obviously you've already put up the numbers, the 40 time and all that stuff at the combine. What all will you be doing at pro day?
I'll be running routes,
Okay.
because I did all the testing.
Yeah.
So I'll just be running routes.
Put
Okay.
that 40 time out there.
Right.
So you're gonna use what Joe Yock, some
Right.
of the
Oh,
moves
yeah.
that
I'm
Joe
gonna-
Yock just-
I'll show you the post corner.
Yeah.
I'll show you the post corner.
If you need me to come out there, just
Right.
I mean,
Just
help
to lock
out.
you down.
somebody.
Just to lock him
Get
down.
your hips turned.
I do
and
want to
your
warn you
back.
though, they have compared me to a young Jason Sehorn.
Okay.
So Joe is the only one.
He doesn't know who
understands that. Yeah,
Jason
right.
Sehorn is,
That's
yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Oh man, Joe, you got anything else?
I wanted to ask you tomorrow, if here at Liberty, okay, we're always talking about this NFL stuff right now, right? But that's great where you're at. But here at Liberty, what did you take away from your experience as a player and as a student at Liberty?
It's different here. That's a good thing. When I first came here, it was a family environment. This was my first, actually, this was my first visit,
Really?
and I committed
Right there.
just because they made my mom and grandma feel at home.
Yeah.
Once you make them feel at
Done
home,
deal.
I feel like I'm home.
Yeah.
And I'm very family oriented.
Yeah.
And then also, my Coach Harris, he played a big part, of my life.
Mhm.
He did life with us. Not only coaching on the field, he was a father to us, us
great.
receivers. So it's like we could call him now. He'll answer, he's been texting me throughout the process, calling me throughout the process. So I believe that's another person, he just been there.
You said your mom, grandma felt at home here. Where do they want your next home to be?
Oh,
If you had your pick, based off either the teams you've talked to or what you see on Sundays, what would your dream be?
Anywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
that's
answer.
a very good
yeah.
answer.
Yeah,
Good
whoever
answer.
writes the
Good
checks,
answer.
absolutely. Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
back to the Harrises, Mrs. Harris. Not only do you have the mentorship from Coach Harris, but his wife. Whoo, that mac and cheese, that chick.
You can't be doing that now.
He will
Yeah,
not.
You can't be doing that now.
Yeah, that'll slow him down.
No.
But I'm telling you, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man, I still drink that chicken. She will not give me that recipe for that chicken, but that
She can cook.
it is so.
It wouldn't matter if she
I
did.
will definitely
Yeah,
miss that. Last question from me, just like with the adjustment to Coach Chadwell and being back at Liberty, what's the feel like?
It's just energy. As soon as I walked into the practice, I just see Coach Chadwell like into the practice. I'm actually like Coach Chadwell in his jacket and stuff. Like I can't really see, but he come up to me. He come up to me with energy. So it's like, man, and then his whole staff has energy. I seen him do a spring break theme lift.
Yeah.
Now that was tough.
You got a little jealous. You wanted to wear the sunscreen
I
under
was
your
behind
eyes.
the screen about to cry. But now, I just love, the energy that they bring, and they actually did a dodgeball, so a team bonding.
Yeah.
That's how you get a team close, and I believe he's doing a great job of everything that he's doing so far.
All right, last thing for me. Now I want you to put on your evaluator hat. You mentioned that you work out with all these other guys. You're at the combine with all the best of the best.
Right.
So we know what you've been doing. We know what you're gonna do. The guys that you were at the combine with, was there one guy that you're like, bro, this is the dude? Like, who stood out to you there? Because you're like all the time.
Number 2 to you.
Right. But aside from yourself, you're watching games on Saturdays too, and you're probably, everybody kind of wonders, like, I wonder how I would size up with somebody like that.
Right.
Like, was there anybody there that you're like, man, this guy is the real deal?
I actually already been training with him. So Jordan Addison.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's very tough. Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Tank Dell. I have a whole bunch. Josh Downs, Jacob Copeland.
Deep recruiting.
Or
receiver class, I should say.
Facts,
Yeah,
like, we have
deep receiver class this year.
A lot of people say that we have a weak receiver class this year, but they're sleeping. Like, I'm honestly like, a handful of us are gonna play.
Yeah.
As soon as it just because probably the schools, like the low schools that's in there in the draft this year, but I feel like it's gonna be different.
Do you I know Josh Downs well. Do you find your game similar to Josh Downs?
I say I wouldn't say similar. I say, I'm like a shifty, receiver, can run routes. He like, I say he runs his routes and he gets open.
Yeah.
So he doesn't, shift.
Mm-hmm. Here's my last thing too, and this is more of an advice thing than anything in the NFL. Is I tell you, the best piece of advice I give you is it is football, and football from the moment you wake up to the moment you leave. Right. And so that you'll see the NFL guys, like a really, really big part of being recruited, scouted, drafted in the NFL is how much does he love football?
Right.
Yeah. Like they'll ask that question all the time. And they say to them, does this guy really love football? So I think the proof that you love football will carry you a long way. And then the ability to get into that day-to-day grind and keep your energy high and stay on top is going to make a big difference. You have all the talent in the world, and there's all these guys are talented, right? But it's those dudes who show that they love football and they're willing to go through the day-to-day grind in order to be successful. You do that, He's set.
It's a lot like building a gingerbread house when it comes
very
down to
simple.
it. When it comes down to it, you got to be willing to grind.
Right.
When it doesn't go your way, you just
keep on
nose
gluing.
down, keep going.
You just grab more icing.
Yeah.
Grab more ice.
Right.
Grab more
Load up on ice.
Load up on ice.
Wait, who's throwing to you tomorrow at Pro Day?
Caden Salter
Okay.
and Jonathan Bennett, both of them should be throwing tomorrow.
Nice. That'll be
We'll
so
be out there. We'll
exciting.
be
So
looking
we'll
forward
have
to it.
all the
Yeah.
updates on that. So excited to see how well you do tomorrow. Thanks so much for
Yeah.
joining us. And then if there's ever like an alumni gingerbread or pie eating contest,
We'll
any
invite
of
you
that,
back.
I
We'll
got
invite
your
you
number
back.
on
Bring me
speed
back.
dial.
Yeah, bring me back.
Yeah,
Facts.
we gotta go catch up.
Facts.
Wherever you end up, we're gonna have to come catch
We're
up. with you.
coming to,
Yeah.
to visit. And I'm already
Absolutely.
bummed that we didn't come down. I didn't know you were training at XPE. Like to take that trip down to
She likes
Florida.
to get down to the
so
beach
I
whenever
missed
she
I missed
can.
out on
Yeah.
that.
Miss the
But
sun.
Yeah.
Miss the sun.
all right, Demario, thanks for your time. Demario Douglas has really grown in his interview. I don't know if it's just like our media. Matt Warner, you do media training here at Liberty, right?
Yeah.
I think that
Do
has he does
Yeah.
sometimes,
Yeah.
with some of the guys.
Train
But Demario used to be like
Joe
one
trained me,
word,
I trained him.
one word
Yeah.
answers. Now, I mean, he's up running routes on set.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's such a fine, upstanding
good
young
kid.
I
man.
love
Good kid,
Demario.
fun
I'm
kid.
super pumped.
Yeah.
Realistically, what are the chances of him getting drafted? Because even if he doesn't, I have no doubt that he's going to.
Yeah,
make
I mean,
some
we've kind of
noise.
heard some late round possibilities.
Mhm.
I mean, it helps that he ran that 4.4.
Right.
That helps a lot. So, yeah, in terms of athleticism, quickness, and all that, it's all there. The one knock, as we know, will always be just his height. And that's just something that, but if you get in the right system with a coach that's creative and will use you and work to your skill set, like
He
he's-
definitly has put on some size, like
Yeah.
some muscle and stuff. So
When you look at the
little Wes Welker vibes, maybe.
Yeah, they always have. But when you get into the NFL, okay, you've got there are big numbers people.
Right.
Okay, so they're gonna say, okay, you got to fit within this category of numbers, but that's gonna be a huge hunk of percentage in the wide receiver position, right? Then you're gonna have the much smaller percentage of players that are in the smaller size category.
Yeah.
Okay, well, there's a lot of those guys out there, right? So he's in that pool. Now you narrow that pool down, but if you can get into the top of that pool, those guys can have really good careers,
Mhm.
right? So if you can make it within there, and I really do think he is. When he starts talking about Jordan Addison, Josh Downs, Demario Douglas, like that's your pool that's starting to narrow down pretty tight. And if he can separate himself within that pool, he's going to have a chance to play somewhere and play well.
I'm excited
But
to
it's
see.
harder. It is a
Right.
lot harder.
Right.
Reality is it's a lot harder.
Right. We'll have all the updates from Liberty's Pro Day,
Yeah, a lot of
which
guys
is tomorrow.
participating.
We have a whole list of guys. One that stands out the most, Austin Mock, friend of the
Yeah.
show.
You
Friend of the show.
You said
Yeah.
he's been getting a lot of looks.
Austin's been going to some different like NFL type of camps
Yeah.
and stuff for long snapper, specialist kind of stuff, and has done really, really well. So those guys, they basically take the snappers. I mean, that's what you do, and that's all you do. It's not you evaluate those guys, and then they categorize you into different where are you A, B, C of where you're at right now. And he's in the top part of that right now. So that's a hard position to crack the door and get
It's
in.
like a Supreme Court justice.
It's
Those
a little
guys
bit
play
Supreme
for
Court
like
justice.
15 years.
Yeah.
They never
Yeah.
leave, and like once you find somebody you trust, you like just stick with them
You
as
do
long
it.
as you
So
possibly.
So
But if
Austin
you
Mock,
crack
better
it-
chances of being in the playing in the NFL or becoming a professional pickleball player.
Much better chance of being in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
we played with Austin. But he's brand new. He's never.
Yeah.
In Austin's defense, he's out there playing, and he's never
Yeah.
played before.
And
so-
but you just worked him
Yeah.
over, didn't you?
No, I played with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah,
oh
we got
gosh,
beat.
beat him down
Yeah,
probably.
yeah.
There was a tweet. I don't mean to bring up a sore subject.
Tweet?
A tweet that you had about Matt Warner getting a little upset during
right.
pickleball
You know, why didn't you ever comment on that?
because
I
I
was
think he was
expecting
actually
something.
What is there
really-
to say?
I was expecting something.
What
from
is
you.
there to say?
It was like
I thought I was under the impression what happens on Tuesday nights in the JPL that this was a tight-knit fraternity. I was under the impression what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room, and here comes Joe just
For the
blasting
whole
it out
world to
for the whole
hear.
world. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Context the folks that are listening.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, I
Matt got
brought it up.
Unbelievable.
Matt got so upset at me on Tuesday night because we beat them, and then a couple times that he missed a shot. From the kitchen line, that's near the close to the net. He turned and threw his paddle, and it hit the top of the fence.
I got 2 for Christmas.
And
if
it
you
was
need to borrow
beautiful.
one. I haven't.
He
even
did it
opened
twice. I got 2 paddle throws out.
I can't wait till he
Brings
does
me
something.
so
I
much
cannot
pleasure.
It's fair
wait.
game now.
It brings
It's
me
all
so
out there
much-
now,
Yeah.
Em.
No,
There's
stop it.
no
Oh,
there's
stop
no
it.
boundaries or
See,
restrictions now. It's all
See,
out there.
You probably don't
Yeah,
invite
sure.
women to this league because you think it's going to be like drama and people open their
Oh,
mouth,
yeah,
and
they'll
then you
start
have Joe
crying.
Yock,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
some other guys to look out for
Oh.
on Pro Day. We have TJ Green, I know, that's going to be participating.
Dennis Asagade,
Asagade.
Javon Scruggs is going to be there.
That's my guy.
Darrell Johnson is
Oh, Darrell
obviously an
Johnson.
interesting prospect.
Right.
Keep an eye on him.
That
So,
length, I feel like,
yeah.
is going
So
to.
a number of guys: Caleb Snead, Jawan Treadwell. Snead will be an interesting guy because he was never really healthy his senior year, so kind of a tough break. See what kind of time he puts up. But yeah, so it'll be fun. We'll be out there and we'll have a report on the TV show this week.
Spring ball also starts tomorrow, so that'll be
it's already
exciting.
started.
Well,
It
Restart,
Well,
yeah.
you know, like a spring break
Little spring break.
weightlifting
No,
practice.
2 days
I'm
of
just,
practice.
I know, I'm just messing. So we'll also have a report from that. Yeah, it's cool to see from an outsider's perspective, like Demario coming in, like, wow, this energy, this
Right.
new coaching staff.
Said
It
the
seems like
guys
these
are
guys are
absolutely
bought
loving
in.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're loving this stuff.
that should be
Can we get to
exciting.
the mailbag?
Mailbag, please.
Every time I see my mailbag.
Great, thank you for that. All right, 3 questions this week. 3 questions. Got one from Zach. He said, which of the lesser known / covered sports do you wish got more attention from Liberty fans in general?
Ooh.
Now, he started talking, part of his email was about club sports, which we should mention, by the way. Props, Kirk Handy, Liberty Hockey in the Final 4, so they're doing a good job.
And
the women's team is in the championship, right?
They're playing at 1 o'clock
Yeah,
today.
so props to them
1
on
o'clock
the
today.
club
Oh, wow,
sports
that's
side.
in-
But is there a team here at Liberty that you feel like, boy, I wish Liberty fans gave them more attention?
Go ahead, Emily. All right, got
What
one.
do you think?
Go ahead, Joe. Let me look up what sports we
I mean,
have.
the fact,
boy.
I would say,
I realize she's on top of it.
You're not on top of it. I would say the fact that the women's field hockey team played for the national
Yeah.
championship, like that's the real deal.
Yeah.
Because women's field hockey, it's not like there's just a few teams that play women's field hockey. Like there's a lot of women's field hockey, and it's really good. And so let's cover the lady.
I'm gonna
flags
say,
field
you know, I'm a big track guy, so I would say track and field. With the
Yes.
success
I
that
almost said
they've
track and
had just over decades now.
Kelly
Like,
Dunn.
like I know, like
She hasn't responded to any of my messages
She doesn't want a
since
piece
she
of
came
it.
on
Yeah,
the show
right.
because you terrified her.
That's so lame. That's so
Yeah.
lame. I am nice.
Yeah.
I'm likable,
Yeah.
lovable, all those
Okay.
things. I should
Track
do.
and field, that's my choice,
I mean,
track
I
and field.
guess track and field, and Matt says that, but he's never done one story on track and field, and he's
that's
never
not
out
true.
there competing,
That's
or not
true.
competing.
That's not true. I did a story on a high jumper.
I'm
That's a
kidding.
pilot. Like, get out of here.
That's a pilot.
outta here.
Yeah.
You shut that down
Yeah.
fast.
That's garbage.
Yeah, I guess I would say both of those, just because.
Oh wow, real creative. Yeah.
Oh, don't take your own.
Just name another sport. 3, 2, 1.
Go 3, 2, 1.
Swimming.
Swimming.
Oh,
Good
that's a
one.
good one.
Yeah.
Abby Shaw, I just don't
yeah.
because
She works
here's the
with us.
problem.
Name a second swimmer.
I couldn't. I have so much respect for swimmers because one, we had to cross train and do that,
Yeah.
and it's just like it takes forever
All
to like
comes
get
back
your
to-
workouts done. Like you can only run so much. Like
Right.
swimming, I feel like just so long, but you can't talk. Like
There's no chatting.
No.
it's just
No
so
chat.
difficult to
Yeah.
train.
You see choking,
Um,
save the ball,
so,
rescue.
I guess it just doesn't get the respect, especially with
Yeah.
guys are completely.
Yeah.
All right, next mail question.
Okay, next
please.
mailbag question.
Just can't
This
finish.
one's from Donald S. Should Liberty basketball retire Darius McGee's number 2? So I think we had a conversation about this a few weeks ago. I don't believe Liberty has retired some jerseys, not the numbers themselves. So the numbers can be worn, but you have like some jerseys that have been retired. I think Peter Aluma was one. I think Hildebrand. I think Matt Hildebrand was one. Yeah.
Carl has
But would you retire this? Like, would you retire the number 2? Nobody ever wears the number 2 again.
I'll answer.
Darius McGee. What do you say?
yes,
I think so too.
100%.
I think so.
I
I mean, 3-time A-Sun Player of the
Yeah.
Year, right?
Yeah.
With only the 3rd person conference history, because I
Yeah.
believe that was right. That is ever done. Wilt Chamberlain, somebody else, I can't remember who it was, and then Darius McGee.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
think
I don't know if that's. It is
We
a
talked
small
about it.
list. It's
We
a small
talked
list.
about this
Right. It's a
one.
small
It's
list.
a
I don't know
super
how big
small
the list is, but it's small. Yeah.
And I'd say 100%.
just what he's done and just the
Points leader.
Yeah.
second
publicity that
all-time in
he's given this
three-pointers made in the
university.
history of the game.
NCAA?
Three-time
I mean,
Conference Player of the
He
Year.
made a shot from the tower.
No one else has made a shot
shot
off
from the
Freedom
tower.
Tower.
In,
Nobody's made a
in
shot from
no
the
one else.
entire world,
Yeah,
no one else
no
has
one
made
else
a
has ever
shot.
done that.
So that right there
Yeah.
retires.
I say yes.
No, I
Would you
do
say
say
retire?
yes.
So
Yeah,
with
I
3
think so.
across the board, it says yes, retire.
Yeah. Hang up that number
Let's
2.
go,
Nobody
Ian.
ever wears 2 again.
Let's
I
go,
agree.
Ian. Get
Let's
on
do
the
it.
case.
All right. Last question. This comes from John A. John. He says, when are we going to get a Joe Yock bobblehead?
Oh,
Give the people what they want, is
want.
what he said. We've
Thank
talked a
you.
lot about all the bobbleheads for the coaches. Here's an idea, Joe.
Yes.
Take
He
this.
comes in one
Take-
day a week.
Take it
That's
as
a great
one day
idea.
a
just a suggestion. Maybe once you've exhausted your shipment of mugs, maybe you transition the money that you typically push towards that into bobbleheads.
To a Yorktown ball.
Yacht bobbleheads.
That's not a bad
I mean,
idea.
that head is going to be so big.
Right, it just keeps falling over. It can't stand up right. Yeah, it just
It's
keeps
got
going.
to be from like the
Yeah,
waist
it's all-
down.
Yeah.
His head is so big, he never stops talking about himself. And then he's going to have a pickleball paddle.
I'll have a paddle.
And then on the other hand, he's going to have his cell phone because if you're looking to buy a home,
right.
he has his cell
I
phone
didn't
ready
see
to
that
take your
coming.
call.
I did not see that transition coming.
That was really nice.
I'm working on
How do
it.
they
My
find you, Joe?
therapy appointment is like 30 minutes about how do I deal with Joe
Right
Yock
here every
and difficult
Monday.
people.
Right here every
What?
Monday is your therapy appointment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good idea. Is that it for mailbag?
That's it for mailbag.
We're gonna close things up talking a little bit about baseball. They're struggling, however, they are playing some tough teams.
I tell ya.
7 consecutive games with a ranked opponent.
When they play the
started-
Dukies,
Well, they beat them earlier
Yeah, but
in
they're
the
coming-
season. They
Dukes
play
are
them again
coming
here
here.
at home on the 28th.
you gotta win that game.
You gotta win that game.
That's all I care
think that
about.
there
Yeah.
was a viewer who at one point said Emily needs to stop interrupting and like needs to let everybody
It's
finish.
me.
I'm wondering if that viewer is still listening today because I haven't completed a sentence in a month.
First off, it's viewers. I haven't told you about all of them that have emailed about that. But no,
We don't stop.
Liberty
Thanks,
goes on the
Bob.
road at Old
We love
Dominion this week, which they're ranked in one poll, so they're very good also. And then you come home for Austin P. You got it. Like it's time to flip the switch. You got to
know.
now. Like you win the first one at FGCU. You think maybe you have a chance to steal a series there. They're ranked 20th. That would have been huge. And then you drop the next 2. You've got to find it right now.
Where are the problems?
Well,
right now, where are the problems?
the offense actually, it had been everything, like going into the series. But the offense, you scored 9 the first game, 8 the second game,
That's a
only
lot of
only
runs.
2 in game 3. But the pitching has struggled.
Mhm.
The bullpen has struggled. Outside of Cole Hertzler, you really don't have anybody consistent down there right now. So you've got to figure that out. You've got some guys that have been pitched a lot of innings for you out of that bullpen that you need to see more from, and they haven't seen it.
I'm interested to see who's going to gather this group and just lead and,
I think
say,
that's it
hey,
too.
we got
There was a lot of
turnover.
turnover, and I think is it like a Gray Betts is one of your veterans needs to kind of just say, all right, enough is enough.
Or
This
Jalen
is
Dye,
it. This
yeah.
is the turning point. It's got
Baseball
to happen
has
now.
that. If you got a good team, which I
Yeah.
think Liberty has a good team, right? They get streaky.
It's
It
better
is.
to have
It's still
that
early
now.
enough in the
It's
year,
Don't
very
but you
bad
got
early.
flames.
you
Fans
got to
don't
figure it out here pretty soon.
We're only one conference series in, so
Right.
hopefully
On the
they
other
turn
side,
around.
Softball is doing what they do.
One more thing with baseball. I
give it to
think
me.
we have a feature coming out today.
Should post today.
Andrew Jenner, he's a transfer from Winthrop. He was involved, was at school the day of the Parkland school shooting.
Right,
So
there in
we did a
Parkland, yeah.
feeture on him and
comes out
him
today?
playing
very powerful. Yeah.
for the 17 lives that were lost that day. So be sure you check out that.
Yeah.
It was on Flame Central last week, but it'll go out on social media
Yeah.
today. Very moving and inspirational story.
Yeah,
from
impressive
him,
kid.
So.
Yeah.
But softball, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean they swept their first series. What is it now? I
Don't
think
mess
is
with
it like
Dot.
15 in a row? I
Don't
think
mess
they
with
won.
Dot.
Did they ever get that game in
They didn't
with
get
Kentucky?
in with Kentucky.
Don't mess
They're
with Dot.
at Duke this week, tomorrow actually.
Beat the
Yeah.
Dukies.
So we know how
That's
Joe
really
feels about
all that
Duke.
matters.
And then they go to North Carolina on Wednesday. So
Oh,
you
Tar
get a little,
Heels.
you
Oh.
Yeah.
a little Tobacco Road. You get a little taste
Yeah.
of both sides of it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for watching and listening to this Flame Central podcast powered by Alcova Mortgage. Like I said, if you're looking to buy a home, Joe Yock is your guy. Go to the Google machine.
he's got you.
JAUCH.
Oh, you did great. Thank you.
Yeah. It's for
High
the
five.
people,
With the people.
with the people,
Of the people.
and now the people can go. Thanks for listening.